Oh,
Do it up in the his and hers.
yeah, yeah. And then, oh shit. Oh, I kind of have a topic for his and hers,
Good.
but it's a made up topic, something that I came up with that I just want to talk about.
Yeah. Well, yeah. This is what it's all about.
Absolutely. And it's fun. It's really going to be a whole lot of fun to talk about this because I think you can give the hises a lot of clarity on this.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm intrigued.
I know you are, and it's going to be fun.
Excellent. Yes. And we're going to try out this new format, and it's awesome. And we're really psyched to know what everybody thinks. I am. We have an idea, but we'll see how it goes, right?
Yep. All best laid plans, that type of thing. Well, we're going to try to see if we can't get this going in the right direction right off the beginning. So if you would please, there's only two of us here right now, and I'm going to say this anyways. And I think it's just you and me, but we're going to share this out because that's what we do.
No, Lynn's here. Hey, Lynn.
Well, I haven't seen her comment, so I guess I didn't know if she was here or not.
Yes. So we are coming from the Grit and Grace page now. Woohoo. That's one new thing.
That is
Thing one.
thing one. And thing number two is, well, we're just going to start it. We're starting off with free for all. So we're just going to talk about whatever it is that we want to talk about. And we're going to say thank you to all of you who are joining us. And we will, just kind of play that round for a little bit.
Yeah.
I think this new format's going to be more fun for people, though. It'll definitely give people a little bit more insight as to what's been going on around us.
We want to shake things up a little bit in the episode itself. So we want to have some different things going on, and because we're sort of like that anyway, we need the action and excitement.
Well, it's always about the action and excitement.
Always.
It's just without a little bit of action, you get no satisfaction. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. So do we want to tell the people what this format is?
Yeah, we're going to go through that real quick here. I'm just trying to see if I've got everything set up the way I want it. I still can't see comments, so that's it's really kind of bugging me. Carlos has joined us, so I can see I see Carlos joined us, and then bounced and then came back. It's all good. So this new format, basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to open up every Thursday night with a little free for all. Let's just have some fun. Let's talk to our guests who are showing up. There's Lynn. Now I can see her comments. And you're starting to sound like your husband. Ooh, that's scary. Anyway.
Don't want to sound like anybody's husband.
Right. I don't even want to sound like my wife's husband sometimes. But no, we're going to have some fun with this free for all kind of gap in the first segment. And that's really because I think what people really liked about Friday nights is we just let cut loose. We had some fun. We had some laughs.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets things going. It kind of releases the juices, if you will.
Yeah.
Because I know on Friday nights when we get done, there's like so much more. We end up talking for like another 2 hours afterwards. So I figure if we do a free for all, we'll just talk for the next 2 hours after this and we're good to go.
Those are the episodes that we should keep recording that.
I know. The dark.
Oh, and then that hidden type member.
The dark
episodes.
Yes. Yeah, that's I am friends with all my exes. Me too. I am friends with all my exes too. Because I really don't have a lot of exes. Do you have a lot of exes?
No, I don't actually. My relationships were long, and one I have to because he's the father of my son. So not that we're friends, like we hang out, but I mean,
Well, I might not have had long relationships, but I never really had committed relationships.
Oh yeah, you were the
I like. Well, I wouldn't say that. You make me sound horrible. I would say I was one of those guys that, we might see each other and go out and have a few drinks and have a good time. But it wasn't like you're mine, I'm yours. We're committed to each other.
Yeah.
They, it wasn't like, oh, you can't see anybody else. I'm going to, but you can't.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything like that. It was.
Yeah. I'm not just, and not because like I, hate them. It's just a matter of circumstance. They just moved away, and a lot of it, it was just years ago, like, 25 years ago. And then but I can have a conversation with my ex-husband and we can discuss things, and like, I don't have a problem with that. He's come over and sat in the backyard and had a beer, and, my family's still spoken to him. And so we don't hang out though. Like, we don't socialize.
Snuck that one by. No, I don't think my wife's ever actually met any of my ex-girlfriends.
No.
I'm getting all choked up here. It's this is one of those things that when I talk about it, just kind of gets me going a little bit. No, but I think the people that my wife have met, they weren't really girlfriends. They were those flings, things might have happened.
Booty calls.
And she doesn't like any of them.
No.
I understand why. But that's what we're going to kind of talk about later on in the show, is that whole concept of, can guys and girls be friends without having that sexual tension? So you're going to want to stick around if you want to get involved in that conversation, because this actually got to be pretty interesting. I know you put a poll question up, and I shared that poll question, and I know you had a ton of responses by the time I even shared it. And I
got lots more.
Yeah, and I got a lot more responses as well. So we'll talk about that later on in the show.
Yeah.
And tonight we're introducing a brand new segment that we're calling His and Hers. This is going to be interesting because she doesn't know what I'm going to talk about, and I don't know what she's going to talk about. So we're both bringing kind of a topic to the table, His and Hers. And I guess this segment is going to be the epitome of marriage, pretty much. She's got her thing, he's got his thing, and
it ain't towels.
Now and then, and exactly, and every now and then they bring it together and see where it goes. So that's I'm kind of excited about this segment. What do you think?
Well, I am, and now my brain's turning, because I'm thinking, like, because we're just going to bring to the table whatever it is that we want to talk about. It could be something we pissed off, but now I could really fuck with you.
Oh God. But then I've got a topic that I want to talk about tonight that, like I said earlier, I think it's something that you're going to be able to help me shed some light on for the men out there. Because I don't think, men really wrap their heads around this topic all that well. At least not the way women do.
Okay.
So
you go for, okay.
Well, it's coming up. That's coming up. We're still kind of free-crawling and seeing what else we can do here. Now, I seen Steve Hanish joined us. Thank you for joining us, Steve. And Lynn, you're going to love this show. This is going to be a great show. So please go ahead and invite just a bunch of folks. I mean, just
share it out.
Up above, if you're watching from your computer, up above, you got that little person invite. You can invite them by name. Just click on that icon with a plus by it, and just do us a solid and just start clicking those names. Like, I'm doing it right now. It's just one of those. That's how easy it is. You don't even have to leave to share it out. You can just.
If you're on your computer, if you're different. I've just been like sharing it out now. So
now, if you're on your phone, it's a little bit different.
Yes, it is.
A little bit more time consuming, but I promise you, it's going to be a whole lot of fun when you see all your friends showing up, and you guys can kind of have a good time in the chat along. Because this is really kind of two shows in one.
It is.
You got our show, and then you got the chat show. And the chat show, a lot of times, and especially recently, has been becoming way more fun to kind of go back and read through. What you guys do and how you guys show up has absolutely been brilliant.
It is. And you know what? We go back after the show too, and we will go back and engage more because we can't, some shows just, there's a lot of questions, there's a lot of comments, and we can't address it all because then it would be a really wonky show if that's what we did. So, we try to address what we can during the show. And, some people might get a little bent out of shape about it, but we just can't do that. But we definitely go back afterwards and we look at everything and read things and add comments. So, don't be afraid. And if you're watching this on replay, let us know, #replay. And so then we can come back and connect and leave a comment or
definitely put that #replay on there because that helps us determine whether or not it helps us determine whether or not people care enough about the replay kind of thing. I know there's a lot of people, I say that, but I know there's a lot of people that catch a replay.
Yes, there is.
About it all the time. And I just want to start kind of seeing who those are. And I want to let people understand that if you're putting #replay, if you're hearing this part right here and you put in that #replay, then we understand that that it's not live, because I've had people get upset with me because they thought it was live and it was actually a replay.
Yeah. Yeah. And it helps us understand too, as far as time, because we really, work on figuring out, we discuss what time, when do you think, how many views? And, we really look at this stuff. So it helps if you, let us know that you're watching it in the replay. So what have you been,
what have you been doing this last week? It seems we had a long week.
I know. And I was just going to say, it seems like I haven't talked to you for a long time. And I don't even know when it was when I talked to you, but,
like a couple of days ago.
No, it's got to be more than that. I'm doing the same shit I've been doing for the last 2 freaking weeks, and that is unpacking boxes and still dealing with my new home.
Dealing? You're making it sound like now you're like this piece of...
It is dealing, because I still don't have a freaking mail key, and it's 2 weeks today. My tap in my kitchen is still broken, and I'm still waiting for this to be fixed.
Oh, man.
I still don't have a mail key, which is kind of okay because I get a lot of my bills are emailed to me, so I can, and I do online banking. So, I can, really, you don't have to leave your house, really, almost. Yeah. And so, but, there's some things I'm expecting. And so it's really, really freaking annoying. But so that, and then I went the other day, I was out of town. I went and got my passport. I'm going to pick it up next Tuesday.
What?
I'm very excited because I am, in a week and a half, I am flying out of here.
How long did it take you to get your passport?
I paid for it to get expedited, so a week.
Oh, what?
So I got a 10-year passport, and I paid to get it expedited so I wouldn't have to wait. They tell you 5 weeks, but usually you get it 2 to 3. Everybody's telling me that. I haven't had a passport yet since they brought that in. But I paid to get it expedited. So it cost me like 210 Canadian.
Wow.
Which is cheaper in American bucks.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, I paid to have mine expedited, and it still took like 4.5 to 5 weeks.
No way.
Yes, way. That's how terrible this system is here in the
That's expedited?
That's expedited.
Holy.
My daughter had to get her passport because she's going to Nicaragua this summer.
Oh.
And, because of that, the trip is literally like 8 weeks away. We are coming right up at that 8-week mark.
Yeah.
And we went to get her passport last weekend, and they said, well, I don't know, this might not happen. And then I said, well, what is let's just get it expedited. Well, we can do that, but it's not really getting any faster if you expedite it right now. It's terrible. Hell, there's people here in the United States. You cannot fly from one state to the other state if you don't have this gold star verification on your driver's license. Though.
Really?
Not without a birth certificate and like a million different freaking documents to prove that you are not some kind of psychotic piece of shit getting on.
Wow.
Yeah,
The United States of America, the greatest country in the world, can't go any faster than 5 weeks to get a passport?
well, no, it's because everybody's trying to go to Canada and they got
Everybody's trying to get the hell out of there. That's why.
yeah, that was really funny. During the elections, the night that they announced that Donald Trump had won the election, somebody had said something like, "Hey, go to the Canadian website, immigration website," and so you click on the link to go to the Canadian immigration website, and it says it literally it said, "We are closed. We are not taking any immigrant status from now until." It was like a week or two later type of thing. It's like that it was
cool off period.
Yeah, a cool off period. Yeah, it was literally closed. I was, and a friend of mine pointed that out to me, and it made me laugh. But
Holy shit!
I guess there were some people who were serious. If Trump was elected, they were going to go to Canada.
Oh yeah, I heard a lot of people say that. But yeah, they'll expedite depending on if you put down a travel date. Then they will make sure that you get your passport fast enough. So I said, like, March 26th is my travel date. And they were like, okay, come back in a week. I have to go pick it up.
Where are you going March 26th?
New York, baby.
New York on March 26th?
Yeah. Damn. Why?
Oh, well, that's all right.
What? What?
You could have come and celebrated my birthday with me, but no, you have to go to New York instead.
Yeah, well, I'll be in New York on my birthday.
Yeah, see how you go. Whatever.
I'm not going to be there long. Yeah, I'm going to be there like 5 days, but I'm going to check out some things that Mile High has in the works. And yeah, it's really more business. So
yeah, I get that. I get, and Mile High does have a lot of stuff in the works, and it's constantly moving forward, and that's what's so exciting because
yeah,
it's fun to know that you're part of something that's not just sitting still. It's something that's always moving forward, and being part of Mile High, like Grit and Grace is, and Raw and Real is, and so many other great shows. You've added, was it like 4 shows in the last month?
Yeah, and yeah, some really good shows coming up. And one, People Who Know Stuff. Shelley McElroy is new. She took broadcasting a long time ago, but she always wanted to, she's just come back to it. And it was something that she had forgotten that she was interested in. And so she's got a great new show that started, and it's on Thursday nights. It's actually on in about a half an hour. People Who Know Stuff. She's really great at having conversations with people. We've got a husband and wife duo coming on, powerhouse couple. But what I'm really excited about, and it starts tomorrow night on a Friday.
Are you talking about what I think you're talking about?
I don't know, maybe.
Are you talking about a certain project that people have been involved in? No?
No. What are you talking about?
Yeah, let that out of the bag then. Because I know it's coming back here very soon, and I was hoping it was tomorrow night.
Oh, no. You'd be seeing a lot of promo on that. No.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, like, no, there'd be major promo on that. But, every Friday I change my cover photo. Yes, Alin. See, Alin got it. What the hell's up with you? So that's
don't change it up. Don't. That's Wednesday.
Friday. So I've got a new show that's joining the network, and I have hunted, and I've got a Prince podcast. NPG.
What?
NPG Underground Radio. This woman, she's known as Blue. She's been doing her show since 2006. It's all Prince talk and related music. And she's got some of his band members. And it launches tomorrow night. And I am freaking excited. This woman worked with his first wife on doing some of Prince's websites. And yeah, like I am 1 degree, baby, 1 degree. And so that podcast is launching tomorrow night on Mile High Radio. And I'm freaking stoked. She's an awesome woman. And yeah, she's worked closely with him. And
that is going to be exciting. Because I'm a Prince fan. Yes, I admit it. I do love the Purple King, but at the same time, there's only so much Prince that a person can digest. Oh yeah. There's only so much you can digest.
CJ. You gotta listen to some of the stuff that's never been heard before.
Oh, I can't wait. Honestly, I can't wait.
And she will play some stuff that has never been heard before. She has. Oh yeah. So she's a great host, and great to be connected to her. And so that plays. Shit, I don't even know. I should know off the top of my head what time. Friday nights. Let me tell everybody real quick, if you're a Prince fan, you're going to want to listen to that. NPG Underground Radio starts at, I hate the 24-hour clock. What time is 1600 Pacific?
4
Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. What are you laughing at?
I hate the 24-hour clock.
Oh, I hate that freaking thing. I had to print out a 24-hour clock and keep it by my desk because that's how our programming works.
You know how to teach.
So I'm always like 13, 14, 15, 16.
This is how you make it real simple. You can never get it wrong. All right? Subtract 2.
Subtract 2.
Yep. Subtract 2. I'm teaching you new math version of it. Okay.
New math version. Okay.
This is the new math version of how to do this. Subtract 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go from 16 to 14. Hey, see, we're learning something here, folks. And Blaine Kerr just joined us. So hey, pay attention, Blaine. And then once you get to 14, you subtract 10 more.
That confuses the shit out of me even more.
No, it's just the number to subtract 12. That's all it is.
I failed math. Like, come on. I had to know.
I was trying to keep it super simple for you. You take 2 away. Everybody can subtract 2 from anything.
Yeah.
And anybody can subtract 10 from anything. It's
okay. So what if it's 20? So then I subtract 2. So that's 18.
And then subtract 10 more. And that makes it 8 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. That makes it so easy.
But I can look at my piece of paper faster.
Or you can just join the army and they teach you 24-hour clock the day you start. And it just seems second nature.
And I asked, can we change this clock? Like, why is it 24 hours? No, it's 24 hours. Can't change it.
So when I was in school, I remember we had this clock on the wall. We had the 12 o'clock, the regular clock.
Yeah.
But then we had a 24-hour clock right next to it. So it went 1 to 24 instead of 1 to 12. And that was always kind of an interesting clock because I'd never seen an actual analog clock that was a 24-hour clock like that.
Yeah.
So I guess it was a leftover relic from the Cold War era or something from like the 60s. And it was a bunker clock. And there was a whole story behind it. And I don't really remember it because I was like 10th grade, 9th grade or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember the whole story, but there was some history behind it.
Anyway, I hate it.
24 hours. So speak French and tell time in French. Come on. Speak French. Come on. You got to
We didn't speak it in 24-hour clock though, in 24-hour time. But anyway, so it's on at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. NPG Underground Radio. If you're a Prince and Prince related, so she's working on actually having Apollonia. If you remember Apollonia from Purple Rain, as a guest, and looking to probably have his first wife, Maite Garcia, on the show. So my Friday nights will never be the same.
No, they won't be the same. And
But I've been listening to it anyway because it's not like it's brand new. It has been around for a while, but it's on Mile High now.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I've been working on, getting my passport. And yeah, looking for quality programming. And but you think we were talking about Tangent City?
Yeah, I was. And I know it's coming up because I just got the script for my next part. Oh, it's going to be.
It'll be about a month before it comes back, I think.
Well, folks, just so you know, scripts are coming out, so that means we're going back into production.
Oh, I haven't gotten mine.
Oh, I got mine yesterday, and oh my God, it's so good. It's so good.
I told you.
It's yeah. So.
Oh.
Yeah, just saying.
Good. Good stuff.
Let's just say it's stretching the legs a little bit more than just doing radio ads.
Ooh. So. Oh, I can't wait to hear. Yeah, I can't wait till Tangent City. So for those of you watching that you don't know, Tangent City is an audio drama created by Dave Maresca from Hollow 9 network of tons of amazing podcasts. And this launched November. It was American Thanksgiving. It launched. CJ and I both have parts in it. And so we launched it on Mile High Radio, and we've halfway through season 1. And so we're going to finish with the last, there's 4 more episodes to season 1.
Yeah, he kind of pulled the whole Walking Dead thing where they did half a season and then take a break and do another half a season.
Yeah.
That sucked. I mean, I'm telling you, that sucked. But I'm pretty sure once the second half of the season comes out, it's going to blow people's minds because it is it's the talk of the town, really. I mean, there's so many people that I know personally here in my local area that ask about that. They ask about Tangent City, and it's a lot of fun. In fact, this is what's crazy. I was invited to go to South Dakota's Comic-Con. It's a SodaCon is what they call it. And they want me to talk about the experience of being in an audio drama such as Tangent City.
Really?
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to give me an awesome opportunity to speak about Tangent City and get a lot more listeners and a lot more people involved. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm hoping that at some point I can get Dave to agree to come out here for that, because I think that having the creator of Tangent City there at SodaCon with me, it would just blow it up even more.
When is it? Because I saw something about that, I think.
Oh gosh, when is I'd have to look it up.
Don't look it up.
It's in April.
Oh, that soon. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty quick.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. I think he told me, I think, it was supposed to come back March, but a few delays. And so that'll come back in April. So stay tuned for that, because CG and I promote the shit out of that all over the place, because it's good and because we're both in it. So, that's what we do. Shameless self-promotion. And it's awesome. And I think the first 5 episodes were really setting the stage for things. Things are going to get pretty exciting.
Yeah, it did really set the stage. It set up what it is that this is going to be about.
Brought in a lot of characters. Took the time to bring in all the characters.
I think, and that's the hardest part about stuff like that, is the character development and getting people to really fall in love with the process of it and the way it sounds. Because I mean, if you can imagine just for a second driving through a new city, somewhere you've never been before, and you turn on the radio station to the local radio, you hear all the stuff that's going on in that local area. Then you go out to eat and you're sitting at a nice restaurant and you're listening to some of the conversations from the community, the people in the community. That's kind of what this is like. It's that immersion. It's like going into a new place that you've never been before and just being a fly on the wall and just taking it all in.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love the ads, and yeah, it's good. And I like your character, Barry Muldoon.
Yeah, he's developing. He's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
can't wait till one of my characters comes out. That'll be good.
I can't either, in because I don't know who it is. That's the main reason. But I do know that I'm
It's
meeting.
related to that question you asked a lot.
Yeah, well, I met a new character. I'm meeting a new character in this next season, so hopefully, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah,
I wonder if it's mine.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say because I want it to be a surprise for both of us. It's gonna be a
Awesome.
lot of fun.
And then, yeah, and then we've got another one coming out. Excuse me, Orchid Grove. Orchid Grove's
Grove, yeah, by Drew
another audio
Carson.
drama. What? Did I interrupt you?
I said by Drew Carson. Yeah, no,
Yes.
I just put who was doing it, and
Oh.
the writer, the director, the producer. He does the everything. So
Yes, he
so
does the everything.
That one has taken a long time, and I'm actually not going to be in that one now. I was going to at the beginning, but I had to pull out of that one because of personal things here. So I just didn't have the time to commit to more than one audio drama. So unfortunately, as much as I would love to have been in such a well-written piece, I just didn't have the ability and the time to do it.
No, there'll be more.
Oh, I am sure. I'm sure.
There will be more. So yeah, that's going to come out, I think, fairly soon, actually. Orchid Grove is going to come out. And that's, info on the Mile High Radio website. You can go and, go to the website, Mile High. High is H-I, not H-I-G-H. milehighradio.com. Go check it out. Click on Radio Theater page, and it shows the ones that we've got come out. There's another one called it's a comedy one, though. I can't remember what it's called. Something band.
Oh, yeah, with Samson Lancaster. He's putting that one out. It's what is that one? It's crazy. I was just talking to him about it just like a week ago.
How does that skip? Well, anyway, you can see it. You can see a little bit of a video on the Mile High Radio website. Advanced Band.
Advanced Band, yes. So
it's a comedy about a kid in middle school who's in band and in the 90s. And so we've got a lot of good stuff. If old time radio, listen to shows on the radio, that's what it is. We're going to storytelling now. And I think a lot of people are loving it. So, and Mile High Radio is bringing it. So anyway, that's,
yeah, and it's one of those things that people have been really big into the whole criminal series style.
Yes.
Serial obviously was the first, and they've stumbled on something that just worked, and other people have done the same thing and have been successful with it as well. And I believe that this is the next evolution. I mean, obviously, we know that these audio dramas, they're nothing new. Audio dramas pretty much began radio. It was what radio was.
Absolutely.
So we're really kind of going back to our roots, back into history, and digging up some of that which inspired radio to move way past beyond what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So check it out on the Mile High Radio website, and you'll see what's coming up for sure.
Well, with that, I think it's time to move on into his and hers.
We need some transition music for this.
I know.
Work on that, will you?
I'll work on that.
Master producer.
Give me a break. This is like last minute. I had everything crashed on me right before the show.
I know.
I'm just saying, everything kind of crashed. So I really didn't have. We'll just do this then. We'll just bring up some kind of. Coming up next is His and Hers, a new segment brought to you by Grit and Grace TV, Lynn Burnett, CJ Ripka. Wow. Look, that was off the cuff. Come on.
You need some like boom, chicka, bow, bow kind of.
This is as boom, chicka, bow, wow as you can get. I mean, this is like. You put some old 70s funk music, and that the first thing people are thinking is like, oh yeah, this is porn. This is
70s funk
porn.
music is freaking awesome.
Of course it is. That's why I've got it loaded up right now.
And it was Sly Stone's birthday yesterday, so
yeah, and he's not dead because he did celebrate with all his friends.
That's right.
Did you see when they had the whole Sylvester Stallone died?
Oh yeah.
Man. What a hoax.
It comes up every once in a while, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yes, that is the live life, Evelyn. Thank you for joining us. It's been so long. I haven't seen you pop into the chat, and you are one of our favorites.
She's awesome.
Elaine's one of our favorites. Corinne, hey, my wife showed up. Yay,
Corinne. We're working on swag, so when we get it, we'll be shipping it out. To some of you.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
On some swag.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, it happens soon. I think there's some people that deserve.
Oh, there's quite a few people that deserve to get something from us. So definitely, we'll do that.
A coffee.
Okay, so bring it,
folks.
I'm dying to know.
Well, it's ladies first.
No.
Yes.
Don't give me that shit.
Ladies first.
It's called his and hers. His goes first.
Chivalry wins the day. It's her turn to go first. Ladies first. I opened the door for you to walk right through.
Okay, so I'll go first then. So this has been in my mind, actually. I've noticed this all week, and then it's funny because when you brought this up, I'm like, oh yeah, and I said to you, I have something I want to talk about right away, because I've noticed it too in my behavior and the things that I do and what I'm drawn to now. And it's really odd that I'm going to say this, but this week, in the last week, I've noticed that I'm freaking sick of personal development.
It gets old, doesn't it?
I'm done. Like, I'm fucking done. I'm not interested in any of the coaching shit I'm seeing. I'm not like engaging in the groups. I'm seeing the same shit, the same quotes, the same. I've been in it for years, and I'm sick of all that stuff. Like, I'm sick of it.
I always felt that it was like a broken record, and
well, I hit that point.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Bob Proctor came out, and he is one of the most amazing personal development coaches out there, one of the most inspirational people out there. And then a few years later, after I found Bob Proctor, I find a guy, by the name of Dave Daly, another amazing guy, very motivating, very inspirational. But then when I started looking at what he's talking about versus what Bob is talking about, it's almost identical, verbatim.
It's all the same.
And then you look at what Tony Robbins is saying, and it's the same thing. All these gurus and coaches and all these people, all they're doing is regurgitating the same idea, the same concept. There's nothing new. And that's why it's so easy to become a coach. Is all you got to do is pay attention to what the other coaches around you are saying, get it planted in your mind, somehow lie to yourself and make yourself believe that it's an original thought, and you became a coach.
I totally get there are no original things anymore. And really everything is just a play on something else. And that everything can be an inspiration for something else. There might be the odd new thing, but the majority of it isn't. And that, we put our own spin on it. Mm-hmm. And we can deliver it in a way that will get through to certain people that maybe another person couldn't get through to that person. We hear things sometimes over and over, and then one day we get it. Like, we finally get it. And it was told a certain way. It was delivered a certain way. But it's so, I don't know. It just, in the last week, it's just really hit me. Like, I'm tired of reading the same things. And maybe it's because I've been so immersed in it for like the last 10 years, like so heavily immersed in studying different methodologies and different coaching practices and all of that. And it just, I think, and maybe, it's a personal thing. I will never stop, because my whole life I've been very interested in personal development and human behavior and why we do the things we do and all those things. And for me, Tony Robbins was where it started when I was like 12, 13, 14.
Yeah.
And he will always be my favorite. But I think maybe for me personally, I've hit that because now it's like, Lynn, you've studied a lot. You've taken lots of courses. You've studied it. You've got tons of material. You've developed some stuff. You've delivered talks. You've all of this. And I think it's maybe a little thing going, you know it. Now it's time to really kick it into high gear and implement more into your own life.
Sure.
I'm thinking.
See, and for me, it was kind of an extension from personal training.
Yeah.
You know, being a personal trainer, a lot of the things that you do as a personal trainer is build confidence in people, you know, help them change their mindset about what their perception of how they look and all this kind of stuff. And at that time, it wasn't new what I was doing because there's hundreds of thousands of personal trainers out there. The whole personal development part, though, came in when it was time to sit down after that training session and you talk to them. You just sit down and have that conversation of how they're feeling and how they're doing and what's keeping them on track for their diet, this, that, and the other. And just one just evolved into the other one, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really have a whole lot of outside influence, not from Tony Robbins or Bob Proctor or
Ziegler,
Guy Kiyosaki. I didn't have that outside influence so much.
Yeah.
What I thought I was doing is just helping people. But then as I started seeing the influences, started seeing where these quotes I was coming up with were coming from, and then start looking at those people, I started realizing, well, there isn't anything that I'm doing here that's amazing other than listening to somebody for a few minutes talk about how they're disgusted with how their body looks, even though they've just spent the last 3 months with me making an amazing transformation.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a message to myself. I think it's an awareness. You know, all these things are guideposts in our lives.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just, I think I'm noticing it that way so that I have to move to a different place now within myself and what I do, because that's what I do with hosts and people that I talk to that want to launch their own show, that want to have a podcast, or people that are feeling unsure, things like that. I mean, I'm still using those skills.
Yeah.
And so, but it's just in a different way. And I think it's a guidepost. I think it's just making me think.
Right.
It's bringing it to my awareness going, okay, so I have zero real interest. I'm not engaging. I'm not answering questions. I'm not talking about concepts anymore and connecting with clients and finding clients and all of that stuff. And it's like, because that's not where I'm at anymore. I think it's just confirmation again. And I keep going back all the time. And I never forget what you said to me when I said, my life has just been moving more and more with the broadcasting and podcasting. And it's like I'm dragging the coaching because like, that's where I started. And you're like, but you know, you're emerging now into something else. And I guess I was feeling loyal to where I began and not moving ahead. So I keep thinking, you saying that to me all the time.
And those coaching skills are always going to be there. How you apply them and to what you apply them to, it doesn't necessarily matter. The skills are there. And once we have those skills, they'll help anywhere. And I put a post out earlier today about, and I think people thought I was going to go deeper into it and like tell them how to make some extra money, this, that, and the other.
Oh, the side hustle thing?
Yeah. I said, if you're trying to, if you want to make extra money, you'd be surprised. The answers are all around you, basically, is what I was saying, because it really is.
Yeah, it is.
With you, for example, you took all this training and coaching, but you're not applying it to personal development. You're applying it to radio and hosting and things like that. So the skills are there. If you have the skills, if you have the tools, you can always utilize those things for other reasons outside of what it is that you've got going on for a regular job.
It's amazing how you get stuck in a certain thought.
Yeah.
Until someone comes along and says, yeah, but you're doing that anyway. And things are really changing, and things are really changing career wise and all of that. So it's like, no, you're moving a different way. It's almost like the universe is, or whatever is saying, we're going to make you bored of this because you're going to be too damn busy doing all the other shit that's coming about and blowing up.
Yep. And sometimes you have to be able to cut that anchor line. It's good to have a foundation, but not an anchor, because an anchor is just going to keep weighing you down and slowing you down. As soon as you cut that line and you move away from the pier, I guarantee you're going to set sail and go into a direction that you never thought was possible.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at the explorers, I like to think about this in the terms of the explorers. Captain Cook, for example, he went to look for the
CJ stories.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
You're awesome. You've been my indirect life coach. I should send you some money.
Well,
you have. Oh my God, you have. You say the odd thing, and I'm like, and I hang on to that, and it makes a big difference to me. It really, really does.
Well, I think we use history because history is a point that you're just talking about. We know that what happened. We know the outcome, and we can take that story and we can compare it to what's going on, and we can create that similarity. That way there's a comfortable place of reference. And you know, it's everything we do. If you're stuck in one spot, look back behind you. Is your anchor down? Chances are it is. You're trying to hold on to something, like you were saying. We're trying to hold on to something that we moved past. That's not us anymore. That we've evolved into something greater than what that was going to allow us to be.
Yeah.
So, anyways, completely forgot my Captain Cook story now. But I basically explained it. That's all good. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's.
But first, it was like at the beginning, you know, like last week, it was like, I'm so fucking tired of this personal development stuff. It's like I'm scroll on by. I'm so tired of the same old. And I'm like, I can't believe that I'm thinking that is what I'm thinking to myself. Like I just am so done. But I've been thinking about it ever since, because that's what you should do when things come about and they grab you, you know, have a look at it. So in and of itself, as I'm like saying, I'm sick of personal development, I'm using those tools and personally developing and growing within it. So whatever you need to learn, right, it comes along. But yeah, that was just, but I am kind of, I'm not seeing a lot of originality. I'm seeing kind of the same freaking quotes over and over. No one is like shaking things up. And it's just, I think, and maybe that's also going, okay, like you need to shake shit up in your own life, which I'm going to, and which I've started. And, you know, all these things are so telling, just like you said, the post you made today about the side hustle thing, that the answers are all around. They so are. They're around. They're inside you. And everything's a freaking message if you want to pay attention to it. So when I started going, oh my God, I'm so sick of this personal development, I could puke.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine today, Chris Oliver, one of the guys. He watches the show from time to time.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because we were having this conversation right after I put that post up. And he was asking me, what the hell are you talking about? You know, it's all around you type of thing. And I started explaining to him, and I started talking to him about, you know, you may be doing, say, this job. This is your thing. This is what you do. However, there's things that kind of come off of that give you the skills to be able to branch out and do other things.
Yeah.
Chances are you already have the tools because you work in this job to do these other things.
Mm-hmm.
mean, use this as an example. A lot of people sit and they're homebound or they can't go anywhere because they're disabled or whatever the case is. But yeah, there's a lot of ways where they can reach out to people that need help, that need, whether it be inspiration or whatever. But take, for example, someone like me. I work a job, plus I have my side business, and I'm constantly working, constantly going. If for whatever reasons I build a Facebook page, it would be easy to bring somebody in to be able to manage that, maybe just for a few hours a day, just to kind of help me out, get things organized.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to make you rich? No, probably not. It's probably going to come out to be like $50 a week or something. It's not going to be something that you can make a ton of money on. Mm-hmm. From one person. But if you put, say, 10 of those people, you manage 10 people's accounts for an hour a day, make $50 each, that's $500 a week that you wouldn't normally have.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, when I said that, I didn't want to give people the answers. I wanted them to think, what tools are around me? What is it?
But people don't do that anymore, though. People want the answers given to them.
But they have to be forced into coming up with the solution to the problem, because if they're not forced into coming up with their own solutions, they will never follow through with the solution that you give them.
Yeah, they won't buy into it.
No. So that's what I was talking about there, and with that just is what it is. So anyway.
Yeah, kind of a weird thing how being sick of something is still the thing that freaking helped grow me, which is the thing I said I was sick of, but that's the thing, is notice everything. But I was wondering why it bugged me. Like I was, and it's just another thing of got to cut that. So like there's a bunch of groups I can get out of.
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh. Yeah. I look at my groups. I think I'm in like over 1,200 groups. I'm like, oh my God, I don't even go to.
Holy shit, man. I thought I was in a lot of groups.
I got to get the hell out of all.
Clean it up.
So, and most of them are all coaching groups and stuff like that. I haven't done coaching in probably 3 years, but like yourself, I have taken the skills I learned from coaching and I translated them over. And so now I talk to people about how to start their little side thing. And I don't call them entrepreneurs, because you're a freelancer. Really, if you break it down, and I know everybody wants to call themselves an entrepreneur nowadays, but call a spade a spade. Freelancing is an honorable profession. It is something that you can do on the side and make a little bit of money for yourself, to make yourself a little more comfortable. Freelancing is basically what started the whole concept of these online entrepreneurs.
You're a fempreneur,
or
boss ladypreneur, or
those things, entrepreneur.
I think that's what I'm getting. I think that's what it is. I'm sick of seeing like all this fancy dancy friggin'. You're a coach, okay? You're a coach. You're not a boss babe friggin'. I'm just people anyway. Like.
It's okay to be a coach without having to be a coach.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Anyway.
Yeah.
So
wait, Linda, what are you talking about? Do you have to show your face for what? Do you have to show your face to manage Facebook? Are you talking about what CJ was talking about?
No. You don't have to show your face. You don't ever have to be seen. You just have a conversation over the telephone, through email, through private.
You be a virtual assistant, and no one ever has to see you.
Right.
And those are in demand.
They're very much in demand, and you have all the tools right there in front of you. All it takes is having a computer and a cell phone.
Frizzy.
Literally, a computer and a cell phone, you can become a a virtual assistant. So
yeah. Very good business.
Like I said, it's not like you're going to rake in millions of dollars doing it, but it's something it's needed. It's something that people need.
Yeah.
Now, where you can make a lot of money as a virtual assistant is by creating a virtual assistant agency. Guess what it costs to become a virtual assistant, to start your own agency as a virtual assistant?
Zero.
Nothing. Zero.
Nothing.
Nada. You can
easy to set up.
If you have 4 or 5 friends who are in the similar situations, who want to have something that they can do at home legitimately, all you do is you set up the accounts and you get these 4 or 5 friends doing that, and you assign them accounts, you've got an agency. It didn't cost you anything. None of you. It didn't cost any of you anything.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. And there's a lot of people looking for VAs, and Mile High Radio may be soon as well. So, if you know something, it's like people who take medical transcription and all those different things, so the lingo. There's all kinds of different, excuse me, be a virtual assistant for different businesses. So yeah, I mean, definitely there's lots that you can do.
Yeah, and if you were an administrative assistant before, you kind of understand what's expected of an admin type person. So anyway, that's where I kind of was going with that whole concept. That wasn't his topic.
No, but I want to answer a question here.
Yeah.
Bill's asking, do you guys think there's too many fake people playing the role online but still struggling?
Absolutely.
Bill, if you have to ask the question, you think that already.
Yeah.
You think that's why you asked the question. You just wanted us to affirm that. Absolutely. I think most people are. But I think you somewhat have to, I mean, I think you can go overboard, but I think there is something of maintaining a certain thing. Because if someone's putting out their shingle and starting a business, or they've been in business for a while and they're like, wow, so I'm a coach, and like, I'm really broke and I can barely pay for my internet. And, but like, hire me. Like, would you want to hire that person? No, but it's like a student that wants to get a job. They've got no experience. Well, how do you get experience unless someone fucking hires you and you have a job? So I think there's somewhat, I mean, you don't want to be fake, but at the same time, you have to give yourself a bit of a chance to appear. But I mean, you can cross the line and make it like,
right.
Take a picture in front of somebody else's Porsche on the street and, ooh, look at me.
There's got to be some context, though. There's got to be some connection to what it is that you're coaching. For me, it was personal development through personal training.
Yeah.
I had connection there. I didn't go out and try to become a business coach.
Yeah.
Even now that I help people get started in little side freelances or businesses and things like that, I still don't call myself a business coach. I just have experience doing certain things. Yeah. So I help them along.
Yeah.
And I think why we're seeing this negativity coming from the coaching realm, especially because we're connected in that realm, I think we're seeing too many people who are 21, 22, 23 years old coming out here telling people that they're a coach of X, Y, or Z. And there's no way they've had enough time to develop the experience, the knowledge, and the wisdom in that particular thing. Mm-hmm. For a 23-year-old business coach is not going to tell me how to build a 7-figure business. They have never, ever had the opportunity, unless you're a freak of nature. And trust me, if you're a Mark Zuckerberg, you're not a coach. You're running a 7-figure, 8-figure business.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think there's a loss of credibility in the coaching world right now. And I think that's why you're seeing a lot of people like Bill struggling, wondering if there's people that are maybe faking the numbers, maybe not being as honest and upfront about their business, things like that. Now,
yeah. I saw a quote that said, it was something like, a lion's not going to tell you it's a lion, or something like that.
Right. A lion is, yeah, that's exactly it. A lion's not going to tell you it's a lion.
It's just going to.
You see it and you know it's a lion.
Yeah.
And
so, remember that when you're scrolling through social media and you see people that constantly, I did this, I did that, and look at this person said I'm so good. And every post includes a selfie. And it's some like magical place. And oh my God, a selfie has nothing to do with what it is that they're talking about. But it's the mandatory selfie.
So there is another side of that sword, though. You do have to let people know what you are or what you do to a certain degree. You just don't have to tell people, You don't have to take a picture in front of a freaking Porsche to show to add credibility to how great of a coach you are.
Yeah.
It's like in my industry, in construction trades, we take a lot of before and after pictures. Guess who's not in those before and after pictures? This guy. I don't feel that I need to be in a before and after picture. You can see what a shit house looks like and what what that shit house looks like after we're done.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to see me in the picture to know that that's what we do. Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've got the best freaking partners in the world right now. And, both of us look at it the same way. We're out here doing what we do because we like doing what we do. We enjoy it. We're hungry and that's it.
Mm.
We walk into Menards. We're not stopping every 5 minutes, talking to every single person, telling them how great of what we are. It's just that. And that's what it looks like on social media. I mean, can you imagine that?
Real life.
Walking through a store and stopping everybody you see and giving them basically a elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Of you.
Yeah.
That's what social media has become.
Yeah. It's really just be who you are and live your life. And if you want to share those moments, share those moments. Not every moment has to be a freaking Kodak moment. Yeah. So I'm sure we answered your question and you already knew the answer to that. So you know what? It's eyes down, move ahead and do your thing and not get caught up and scroll on past and just, you get an idea and remember, like a lion doesn't tell you it's a lion.
And to answer Bill's other question, no, I have not got the 100 likes by Friday yet. But I'm extremely close. I think I was at like 94. So 6 more likes.
Oh.
And I quit smoking tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you should wait, because you said by Friday. So midnight, Friday night, and then you can start Saturday.
Yeah. Saturday, I'll stop smoking.
Yeah. Start Saturday morning fresh.
Here's the thing, though. I'm going to quit smoking regardless. I just thought that was a fun little game to play.
Oh, for sure.
It had nothing to do with the fact that I need to have 100 likes in order to quit. No, I'm not doing this for people to give me likes.
I saw a couple of those comments on that.
I am doing this because it's just something I want to do. Yeah.
So what's your thing that you want to bring up?
My question. Okay, so my topic, and this is about the sex toy industry.
Oh,
right? Not necessarily the parties, because I think a lot of women, well, actually it does actually bring in some of the party aspect of it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about those like the Tupperware type parties and stuff like that.
Yeah, romance parties.
Thank you. See, I didn't know what they were even called.
Romance parties. Although I don't like that name either.
Yeah, because there's not a whole lot of romance to get.
No, you're talking about lubes and vibrators and.
Yeah. But anyway, so we have a store here in town. It's called Video Blue. And I'm not plugging it because this place is dirty, nasty, just disgusting. It is like, this is the kind of place that used to have a theater in the back in the day, and it still might. I don't know. The kind of theater.
I haven't been in for a while.
Yeah, the kind of theater you probably would have found Pee Wee Herman in, type of theater.
Yeah.
So it's just nasty, and it makes women uncomfortable from what I've seen. Like, I have never seen a woman go in and come out of that place without having like their face covered up and like, type of thing. Right.
Yeah.
But then on the other side of town, there's a different one, the Dick and Janes, those types. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
And it's a little classier though. It's not like they have like the other one. It's got the fist dildos and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, God.
This one here doesn't have it. It's a little bit more discreet. They kind of took the party idea. It looks more like a clothing store, and then it has another side room where they have the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Why, if this is something that's so celebrated, I mean, I don't want to say celebrated. I mean, because when you talk about romance parties, they're fairly popular. It's usually not too tough to get other women to join or a romance party.
No.
And it's not like it's a private event. It's not private. You're all sitting around having wine and cheese and whatever the hell else you guys do. And so it's not private.
No.
Why is it though? Why is it that women feel more comfortable in that setting than going into a shop that has the same thing, has when it comes to Dick and Jane's, their employees are extremely knowledgeable and they're very good about everything that they do. I mean, they're very professional, not clinical, professional.
Yeah.
So why is it so different going from one to the other? Now I can understand why you wouldn't want to go to Video Blue, but these other ones that are a little bit more upscale.
I think because it's more public. If someone sees you walking out of a store, you think that someone might see you and judge you like you're some like sex fiend or something like that. But if you go to one of those parties, it's pretty much with people that you know. So you're already comfortable, you're already somewhat accepted, and there's a trust factor and you feel safe that you can share and talk.
So if you're going to judge one, you got to judge us all type of thing.
Pretty much. And they're all dying to talk and to share, and it's funny, and women will openly share and talk about it. Once you get past like the jokes and all that stuff, then you start getting the serious questions. I've been to quite a few, and then you get the serious questions and you get some real, if you got somebody good that knows what they're doing, that can really educate you on things. And so you're safe. You know that someone's not going to think you're like some weird perv or something like that, right? But I think that's the difference, because you can't sort of control what people are thinking if they happen to see you walk out of a store.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're in that setting, when we know people, we're more understanding, we're more accepting of things.
See, I guess my thought process though, if I go into the store, and usually it's with my wife, unless we have to go to Video Blue, then she just sends me in by myself. But then
have to go? What do you have to go get at that place?
Well, there just might be some new fun stuff. Who knows? Who knows? Things
you can just order online, and it can come straight to your house and no one has to know.
Where's the satisfaction in now if you have to wait 2 days to get it? Sometimes it's spur of the moment.
Better. Sometimes it's way better quality.
What are you talking about? I think if it's spur of the moment's the best. That just, you don't know what's going to happen.
Well, it can be spur of the moment once you get it.
Yeah, well.
Anyway.
By that time it's passed. It's like, hey, guess what just came in the mail? Yeah, whatever. Football's on.
And you're never going to feel that again?
Oh, yeah, probably. But it's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is.
Okay, fine.
Like I said, if I got to go by myself, stuff like that, when I walk out, I don't feel like, and maybe this is me, this is the way I am, but I don't feel like that they're judging me. I feel like I'm reminding them that, oh shit, I should stop there too.
Yeah. I used to drag my husband there. Come on, let's go.
And he'd be like, no, I don't want to.
Stand by the door and wait for me. And I'd be like, look at this one. Look at this one.
There's only dicks and assholes in there. What the hell? Too much?
Oh, God.
I don't know. I think a lot of people, and you and I talk about this before, where there's so much in our world that's very standard.
Yeah.
People are afraid to talk about it. People are afraid to admit that they like some things because it's taboo or whatever it is, because of Victorian standards that don't exist anymore.
That's right. Well, and there's a lot of judgment, and people don't want to be judged, and they just don't want that, right? So, I mean, it's not everybody that can have that I don't care what other people think attitude. Like, not a lot of people can have that, or they can to a certain point, but then when it comes to that, then that's sort of like where it stops, and I don't care what people think thing kind of ends, right? So yeah, it's
But I do believe though that it's one of those things that that embarrassment factor. I guess some people get embarrassed by it. They're a little. It's like maybe a little uncomfortable or
well,
whatever.
and some people the way they were raised, and
Yeah.
that's nobody knows that, and so yeah, I mean, yeah, it's for some people it depends on how they were raised, and
Yeah.
that's
I was just reading the lens. It says I took a co-work mint on the first. Oh, wow.
I can't read all of that comment. I'm on my phone.
Yeah, I know. I can see it all. I don't have Seymour on mine. Um, Seymour's an asshole. I don't like him. She was embarrassed that I was checking everything out when at the cash. I said, wait, I need a book with what I bought. LOL. Okay, so yeah, I don't, I think people who are, there, it went away. I think people who are a little bit more accepting of themselves as a human being, human nature, if you can accept your human nature, I think people are a little bit more understanding and less likely to be embarrassed by things. But I do believe that because there's such a problem with self-image,
Yeah.
I do believe that's where a lot of that problem comes from. And and the reason why I brought this up because we got a brand new store in town, and I'm kind of excited to go check it out.
I would be too. I'd be like, we've got one in town called Whispers, and I went in there with a girlfriend of mine one time, and but I've got a friend who is in direct sales in Love Winks, which is an awesome company. They have a lot of natural products and really good quality. And she's highly educated and she gives me so much information. So I'll get my stuff from there, and it's really, really, really good quality stuff. So if I want something, I'll go there. But it's fun to go to the store and see what kind of goofy things that they have. But yeah, it's definitely image. And you'll notice if you talk about something, it gives other people did she, Evelyn? She worked at Whispers. I probably met her. If you start talking about something, then it's like gives other people permission to talk about something. So if you are one of those people that you don't care, no infections, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's if you go to Video Blue.
Yeah. No, you need to get some proper cleaner for your toys if you're having an issue with that.
Or
it gives permission to other people. So if you're one of those people, you don't have a hang up when it comes to something like that, and you can go in one of those stores and you don't have a problem with that. I think we kind of all need to talk about it, be those people that talk about it to give other people, to have them be more comfortable to talk about it, because it's such a huge part of who we are. I think we need more information. Yeah.
So anyways, this is the part where
I didn't get it. This is it.
That's all I had for that. That's all they had for that topic. It wasn't as interesting as the hers topic tonight. It just was what it was.
No, it was totally good.
So coming up next, we've got our topic of the evening, our premiere topic. I don't know what we're actually going to call it yet. I didn't think that far ahead. I apologize. Anyhow, we are going to be talking about can men and women be friends, or is there always some kind of ulterior motive? And you put out a poll, and I shared that same poll because I didn't believe that it could have been worded any better than the way you'd worded it. So do you want to start us off by talking about that, what you saw?
Oh, I was quite surprised. Were you surprised?
Yeah, I was surprised, actually.
So was I. I was really surprised. So I put it out on Facebook a couple days ago because, free info, right? Because we knew we were going to talk about this. Is it, do you think it's possible that men and women can just be friends? And so I put that out there. So the last time I checked, which was just before we went on air here, I had 90 responses. 90 responses, or 90 people responded to that question. Out of 90 responses, I had like 4 people that flat out were like, no, it's not possible. And I had 2 sort of maybe, depends. So I was really surprised, and it's a great conversation because of you and I, for one, and I'm not going to get into the whole story, but there was sort of some issues and with you and I being friends, and we don't live anywhere near each other, but that just brought up with us talking about different things. And so it came up as a topic, as it does often when we talk. Sometimes one of us will go, hey, that's a topic. And then we madly write down, and because we're always on the lookout. But I was really surprised that many people said yes.
Yeah, and I was too, but here's what I seen. This is what I saw. The women primarily said yes, but yet it was also the women that said no. There wasn't a whole lot of male.
Yeah.
And I've got a theory on that, but and I'll get into that here in a minute. But I think this shows.
I think what, 2 guys?
Yeah, I think is on
2
mine.
guys responded.
I've got Donald
on my post.
Yeah, and on mine, I didn't have nearly as many. I only had like 20 some. So 1, 2. I had 2 guys as well. So, and that's what's funny. One of the guys put friends with odd benefits occasionally. So that's kind of where I started thinking, okay, this is the reason why you have so many women that responded. I believe that women honestly believe that they can have that friend relationship. I really do.
Yeah.
They honestly feel that there's nothing wrong with men and women being friends. And women, some of the comments that I saw, they are absolutely just convinced that most of their friends are guys. Problem is, they do not know what those guys are thinking. They do not know what would happen if the door was open for them.
Yeah. Because a lot of them said, oh yeah, we're just friends, and we both know that that's just, but how do you know? That's what he's telling you.
Yeah. I would give me this person. Yes, absolutely. Now, one of them, this person that said yes, absolutely, her and I are friends. There's never, ever going to be anything more than friends. Even if she opened the door, I wouldn't walk through. And if I opened the door, I don't think she would walk through. So there's where the kind of problem comes. Because just because men are primarily the ones who are willing to walk through that door first doesn't necessarily mean that they're the only ones capable of walking through an open door.
That's right. Yeah. So let's unpack this.
Let's unpack this.
So yes, I do believe, I will put out what I believe. I do believe that men and women can be friends. Now that doesn't mean that one or the other hasn't thought about, maybe. That doesn't mean you can't be friends.
Right.
It doesn't mean there'll always be thoughts. It doesn't mean those thoughts will be serious. I liked the responses that there was a little bit more to the question, because I wanted to see where they were coming from. Like, what made them think that? And most people just responded yes, or yes, absolutely, or yes, most of my friends are guys. I do have actually, I don't now. I mean, I have some male acquaintances, but I have had some male friends, and no one's made a move on the other. There's the odd, joking around innuendo. What?
I hope they haven't been making a move on one another.
No. But there might be the odd joke or innuendo or something like that, but that's where it ends, and there's nothing like that. Now, we're quick to say, oh yeah, men and women can be friends, but that doesn't mean that the guy isn't thinking about it,
Right.
that he wouldn't want to, because I do think that men are probably more likely to have a thought
Yeah.
than a woman.
But it's the programming. It's the genetic programming of men and women.
Yeah, exactly. So while yes, you absolutely can have a friendship, you don't know that he could be like visualizing bending you over something. Like, so, like, absolutely you can be friends. I think that for sure. But I mean, it just seemed like a lot of the answers came as absolutely. And he never thought at all about it going any further because we are just friends. But no, it doesn't mean that he hasn't thought about it. Or if you said, like you said, you know,
Okay, so Evelyn says, men have different views on sex. Men can have sex and not have it. Be more, be
yeah,
more. Women usually attach feelings to it.
yes,
Okay, so yes, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's yeah, for most men, there's not an emotional connection to sex. It's a pleasure connection to sex, where more women put an emotional connection to it versus the pleasure. Even though they're both important, both the pleasure and the emotion are important. It's just the order in which they put them in. Kind of like when you and I were talking about the 6 human needs, same type of thing goes here. You've got these same needs: pleasure, emotional, yada yada yada, and what order you put them in is going to determine whether or not you feel about it the same way as the person you're with or whatever. And when it comes to friendship, chances are both have thought, I wonder what if type of thing, but it's how that it's what's, I mean, I'm trying to say I agree with exactly what you were saying, and I lost my words there. So I agree with you 100%. But where I think that there's a lot of confusion is women and men both use sexuality and flirting on a regular basis, whether they're aware of it or not.
yeah,
They're using this on a level that is, it's genetically in our, just programmed into us. When we want something from the opposite sex, we're gonna put that flirtiness on. We're gonna just be a little bit more playful. There's a whole lot of things that go into this mating ritual, even though the end result isn't sex. There's all this stuff that goes into it, so the lines get blurred. And for women especially, I think lines get blurred because men are very comfortable with wanting something and coming back out of it without giving anything back out of it. Does that make sense?
say that again. What men are?
They're very comfortable with going into a situation, getting what they want out of it and then moving on.
Mm.
So, and which, if you look at the animal kingdom, it's very much similar. You usually have that alpha male that's having that's mating with the female, with the majority of the females, and he's just going from one female to the other, spreading that stronger alpha seed. And it's not that different in the human world. It really isn't.
No. I wish more men would have commented.
Yeah, I do too.
So I could have asked, because there was some people, the way they commented, I responded saying, I'd like to know more about why you're thinking that. And some people were adamant, no. And I believe that comes from personal experience.
Yeah.
You were friends, you got jiggy with it, it didn't work out, that wrecked your friendship. Not everybody can be Jerry and Elaine, right?
Yeah.
So it definitely, I think there's some bad experience. I've never, ever, the guys that I've been friends with, it's never gone beyond that. Now, I don't know whether one of them would have liked it to go beyond that. I don't know. But I think they're also, what?
Or the possibility in the future, it couldn't develop into something else.
Yeah. I think in some cases it might be difficult, because I'm thinking about a couple comments on it where it got a little bit more, where people saying, no, it's not possible. I think it's too hurtful. And I think that I think that if it got to the point where one had a really strong feelings and fell in love with somebody, because sometimes you can't control it, but I also think that you can choose to love somebody. I think there have been some cases where one person just fell madly in love with the other person. It was too difficult to be friends, when the other person didn't want it to be more. And in that case, yeah, I absolutely do believe that there's some instances where it's not possible for a man and a woman to just be friends if it's really deep and intense for one of them.
So this person had a cool comment, and it was a full comment, full thought, which I really respect about it. And it comes from a woman. It says, it started back in high school. I'm still good friends with a couple of guy friends from that time in my life, and the relationship changed appropriately when they got married. So what I got from that is these guy friends were maybe even boyfriends at one point, and they maintained that friendship throughout life, and now it changed.
Yeah.
And I can see how that could happen too. But then again, there really wasn't enough to really go on, even though the poll results were amazing. The people that actually took part in it were absolutely phenomenal. But I think that I don't think it was very one-sided. I don't think it was very complete. And maybe some other time it may have to revisit this, but and get a better, more complete, as not necessarily as a full topic, but maybe as a update. This would be a cool update.
Yeah, I think, the people who have friendships with the opposite sex, we're like, yeah, absolutely. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. They've never come across anything. So we all know the movie When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
And they did a road trip, and that's, they were fairly new, and they got into that topic of the conversation, like, can men and women be friends? And it was Billy Crystal saying, absolutely not. The sex gets in the way. And they had this long discussion and debate on their road trip, in stating that the sex gets in the way. And she said, but if there is no sex, he goes, yeah, but then we're thinking about the sex. And that's just the way the men are. And then, if you watch, there's another movie after that, and they meet, they never saw each other again once they made it to New York City. And then they met up years later, and they had both been married and all of that stuff. And so it was very interesting. If you haven't watched it, watch it. And, they end up getting together. It's not spoiler alert, because, this movie's old.
Yeah, it is old. I like what Evelyn put, though, fall in love or projected attachment. Yeah, and I think some of those friendships maybe do fall into that projected attachment thing.
It could be, I think, depending on the person.
Yeah.
If they attach to everybody and they're just, looking for love in all the wrong places, that may be.
Like bars. So, and this one person who I know that I'm referring to, she knows who she is. I'm not going to say her name, but she's got a scary projected attachment thing going on right now, where she saw a guy a couple of times, decided, maybe we're better off friends, and he turned into a dangerous stalker. So, yeah.
Well, shit.
So that's an experience right there where her answer is probably not so much. Not until you build a level of trust between you, and I think that's the key, is the ability to be able to build trust, because friendships and romances, it's two different levels of trust. This is my opinion, and this is the way I see it. There's two very different levels of trust when it comes to someone who's a friend versus someone who you're in a romantic relationship with. And what I mean by that is, when you're in a romantic relationship, that trust is, what's the best way to put it? The trust is built upon experiences with one another. Where when it comes to friendship, that trust is built based on loyalty to one another, to what the other person wants out of that relationship. Whereas in a romantic relationship, it's based out of the loyalty that you both have. What you both
Yeah, but can't you grow? Can't you grow? What are you saying?
What
I'm talking about?
Okay, so I'm having trouble putting it in words, apparently. Let's clear it up. So friends, sometimes they'll tell each other things that even romantic relationships don't tell, because there's a trust there. There's that separatist trust, that wall that there's no what's a consequence. Say, for example, if I were to tell you something, there's no repercussion for me telling you that thing. Whereas if there's a romantic relationship, the thing that I might have told you may have a negative repercussion, or it could have, maybe there's a fear of judgment. And we've discussed that at length in other shows. When the closer you become, and you can't, I don't believe there's a much more close that you can't. Yeah. Lack of risk. Thank you very much, Evelyn. Thank you. See, that's why our audience is so important. You guys save our bacons more times than you know.
Yeah.
So you know the two the closer the relationship is to a romantic relationship, a sexual relationship, the more risk is involved, and the more risk that's involved, the harder it is to be, as I don't want to say honest, because I think it's still important to be honest, but there's certain things that maybe you just won't come straight out and be all about. It's just kind of that sometimes things are best left unsaid type of thing.
Yeah. So, but do you think that a friendship can start, it starts out as a friendship and you think it's going to be a friendship, and it changes and it turns into a relationship?
I still believe that you lose some of that ability to talk the way you did when you're friends.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you absolutely. But I mean, usually relationships start somewhere, right? You meet somebody and you start talking, and I mean, you do start out as friends for sure.
Well, not always. Me and my wife did not start out as friends. In fact,
well, that's true. I mean,
the last words that came out of my mouth with the first time I saw her were, "Hey, you might be a bitch, but at least you have a nice ass."
Yeah. Romance. You're so romantic.
I was a dick. I was an asshole. But at the same time, she was not giving me a time of day either. Come to find out, it was because she was dating somebody else and she wasn't putting herself out in any way, shape, or form to accept that type of flirtiness or whatever. And in the situation that we were in when we met, her best friend was dating my best friend, and her best friend kind of drug her along to keep me company while she was hanging out with her boyfriend. So she was already in that negative mindset, that negative space.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was that comment, that shock and awe comment, that brought her back the next time. Say, okay, I want to know more about this dumbass. And now we've been married for 18 years and so on and so forth. So
yeah. 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 It doesn't always start out as friends, but I think it gives you an idea of you get to know that person for sure.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I think it is possible, but don't make the mistake of assuming that because nothing is happening or that, uh, someone hasn't made a move that it's not thought about or wanted or any of that.
Right.
I think it's possible.
I do too. I honestly believe that men and women being friends is probably good for both sexes.
I think so. Yeah. I
As long
mean, two women that are friends, you can have a fight with your girlfriend and lose that friendship. I mean, it's not like, why can't you have good times with someone of the opposite sex or without their, but just because it's, naturally who we are, like you said in the beginning, is people that's just naturally things we're going to behave the way we are. So, but I think, yeah, seeing so many of the yes comments made me think they seemed so confident in the fact that it was almost in a way like these men never thought about it.
Oh, careful, Charlie. Careful. I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was reading Charlie's comment. It says, either way we look at it, let the woman make the first move. Like a chess game, women should call the shots more often because Eve did. Um, I'm just gonna warn you a little bit there because I don't agree with you there. Not saying let the women call the shots, and I'm not saying guys you need to call all the shots either. If you're in a friendship like Lynn and I, we discussed this show, we discussed this format at length before we decided we're just going to come out with this new format. And it's not me calling the shots, it's not Lynn calling the shots, it's us calling the shots. Even in a friendship, we're all calling we're both calling shots. Same thing it goes in a relationship, in a marriage, or in whatever kind of partnership that you have. It's not let them do everything and yes, being chivalrous, or you don't want to get into a situation where you're demasculating yourself by letting them do everything. But at the same time, you don't want to put them in a position where they have the stress of having to make all the decisions either.
That's right. Don't let us call all the shots. It gets tiring. And then we kind of maybe will lose a little bit of respect, thinking, man up and frickin' take a little bit of control, okay? Because let me tell you, that whole thing about letting the woman call the shots, that was a little bit of the downfall of what ended my marriage.
Ouch. I'm just gonna throw that out there. There was no better word for it than ouch. Yeah. Guys, I mean, we have seen this happen. I think a lot
it sounds like a gift
going on right now that men are very demasculated right now, and it's not because of anything other than the fact that guys, it's what we're talking about, guys and women being friends. Some guys are going to ruin it for the group, and they're going to take it too far. And there are some women out there who do the exact same thing.
Be yourself. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Be open. Be honest. That's it's the tactics, the games, all of that stuff.
Stop expecting a projected outcome and just let the moments happen. And I guarantee you'll never be disappointed, first of all. And second, you'd be amazed at the relationships that you can build.
Well, I could get into a big whole long, Bill. We submit in certain cases when we want to. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I'll agree with you there, Charlie. I get that. With good women, I meant let them be free, all about choices. I hold my own, and they should. That's what I meant. And
okay.
I agree with you 110%.
Cheers. Yes.
Walk on. See, I'm glad we didn't block you.
Yeah.
Like Bill said.
Evelyn says, for relationships, women flirt and want the men make an advance. Then they decide to choose. Exactly. It's like this is the dance, and it happens all through relationships. I know every time CJ makes a comment about the dance or the mating ritual, I always think of a peacock right away. Peacock in my brain, and I think of the peacock with his tail out dancing. Do. Look at me, ladies. Look at me, because it's always the male version of the animals that are pretty, because they're look at me, baby, and then we're like, yeah, okay, yeah.
That's in our the human animal is the only animal that does it the other way around, where the women pretty themselves up with makeup and things like that, and the guys are pretty dull and drab and
yeah, it is totally opposite, but it's in the actions and things like that, and the words that you guys use, right? I mean,
watch body language. Body language is the most interesting thing you can ever study, even if it's not something you're going to do professionally.
Absolutely, it totally is, and yeah, it is. And sometimes it just makes the other person feel good. Did I freeze?
Yeah, for a second, but
okay, you froze for me, so I don't know. So I kept talking. Got to keep things going.
Yeah, it works.
Got to keep the show going.
Yeah, we made a choice together. You kept talking, I stopped talking. It works that way. But then again, now it's my turn to talk. So
oh my God, we work so well together.
Oh no, I
need a stuffed peacock when I see you.
What's funny? It's so funny because when I was a kid, I used to call myself Peanut Per Peacock because I couldn't say Christopher Ripka, so my name was Peanut Per Peacock. How do you like those apples? Oh wow, we lost Lynn completely now.
Oh my God, I need a Kleenex. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
No, I'm dead serious. I swear to God on my life.
Oh my God.
Usually my aunt watches some of our shows, and she's not tonight, but if she were here, she would be like, yep, we sure did. But yeah.
Oh my God.
So we all call ourselves something different for whether you can say it or you can't say it, yeah, whatever.
Oh.
But
that is fucking funny.
Yeah, I totally forgot what I was going to say.
Because I could totally, to me, I totally would think peacock when I think of you.
What's your spirit animal? It's a fucking peacock, all right? Fuck you. Oh,
oh my God.
So we've got a tear, a snort, and a laugh. Oh my God, we're good to go, folks. This is probably the hardest enough.
That is unbelievable.
Okay, the laughy faces are starting to come in, so they're just catching up to that. Or something. I don't know. So, where are we going with this? I don't even remember where we were going with this.
I can't believe the coincidences. You know how many times that comes up where I say something and you go, well, you know what? And you got some fucking story you pull out from way back in the day.
I've got stories though. I've lived life. That's the thing. If you don't live life, you don't have stories.
Well, that's right, and that's what it's all about, and that's what makes it interesting. I just can't believe the peacock thing. That is funny as hell.
My hopes is someday someone's gonna see this shit and they're gonna be like, I'm gonna write a book about that dumbass.
Oh my God.
There's some really stupid shit that guy's done in his life, and it's just funny as hell. But
oh my God,
I completely forgot where we were even.
Oh, I did too.
So I would turn on.
We were reading comments. We were talking about.
Yeah, we're at that point in the show where we're reading comments now.
I don't remember. That's where we started. That's where we started.
And our goal
started it all.
So our goal for this show was to change it up a little bit, folks. We wanted to bring the entire week of show into one show so we could really give you the best possible show all in one time. So we started off with Free for All Friday, only now it's just the Free for All segment. Then we went to the his and hers, and I thought that was a lot of fun. We had one good one, so. And then we went into talking about can men and women be friends, and I think it really went well. I personally really
like the format.
I really like this format, and I hope you do too. We were kind of concerned though that we weren't going to be able to fill time, and we are 2 hours into a show. We're going on 2 hours into a show that we thought was only like an hour and a half at the most.
Well, we started late, as usual. That is our signature thing.
Not that late. We weren't.
No,
that late. We were only.
But we started late.
14 minutes. That's it.
There you go. A lot can be said in 14 minutes. Okay.
A lot can be said. We've said a lot in 2 hours. We've covered a lot in 2 hours.
We have. I like it because it mixes things up. We talk about different things. We can pull in different things. It keeps it. I like it, and I know that that's.
Well, the reason why that brought this up, this whole time frame up, is because Bill is the one that's saying, "Hey, it's 1 a.m. here. You guys need to wrap this shit up."
Yeah.
So.
That's the beauty of it being recorded, Bill, is that you can come back and watch it again, and you can forward. You can skip ahead.
Kind of like DVR that way. You just
exactly
skip over the boring stuff. But thank you very much. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And like I said, Bill, I didn't get the 100 likes right now I don't have the 100 likes. Whether I get the 100 likes tomorrow or not, I'm still quitting. So there you go. There's your answers. And it's been a great time hanging out with each and every one of you. Evelyn, as always.
Yay, see, look, it works for Evelyn. It was good, and being longer, I won't miss it all. Yeah, we like to be able to change things up. If we just, and you know what, we're always trying new things, trying different things. We're taking into consideration, people who have made comments and all of these things, and all. It's amazing. I'm telling you, what goes into us, trying different things out and different technology. It's been, almost a year of trying new things and evolving and listening to you guys. So thank you. Thank you for your input. Thank you for telling us all these little things in these comments, because it makes a difference. We really do, weigh it against what works for us and in general, and best practices, and what's out there and what's coming in the future, and blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada, yada.
Lynn, thank you for introducing us to Charlie. And Charlie, thank you for spending some time with us tonight. We really love it when new people come and find the show. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I hope you got some laughs and you got some information. And most of all, I hope you come back, because we really do truly enjoy having our audience interact with us and be part of the show, because you are all part of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Holy hell. And if you liked it and you're new, we'd love it if you would go and check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/Grit and Grace TV. We'd love it if you'd leave a review there. If you don't quite, or you could head to our website and do that as well. You can check out all the other places we're available, because if video doesn't work for you, but you want to catch our shows in audio, you can find all those different ways on our website, and you can find some great resources. You can ask us a question, leave a comment, and do everything. Our website is our hub for us, for our show, anything. So be sure to go to gritandgracetv.com. Go check it out. See what's there. We'd love it if you left a comment, review. It's right there on the homepage, because that helps us as well. So we have an idea of what people want. That's what we can do. So we hope you like this format. We'd love a comment on our Facebook page if you did, where we can bring a little bit of that Free for All Friday at the start of a show. Let's, kind of like, hey, how's it going? And get warmed up a bit, and then bring in the his and hers segment, and then bring in our topic. And So that's what we want to do. We want to change it up in one show is basically what it is. And
if you have a his and hers comment, you can also go to gritandgracetv.com and leave that in the comments. We'd love to see what you guys have to come up with.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
So until next Thursday, folks, thank you very much for watching. Please join us again. And I promise you, I will have some things figured out. I'm not going to promise I'll be on time, but I promise I'll have a few more things figured out. So until next week, we'll be seeing you.
Bye, everybody.